Hey everybody, it's Shooter FPV, and this is part 3 of my Player1 Build Series. In this part, we're going to go over the installation of the Crossfire receiver. I'm going to show you how I mount it, where I mount it, and we're going to solder it up to the flight controller. And I'll also show you how pad location on a flight controller could make a difference. I mean, it's not bad, but things could have been laid out a little bit better on this thing. So let's go to the bench and get to work. All right, so I got everything ready to go. I got the Crossfire Nano receiver, wires, and this is how I'm going to mount the Immortal T. So dry fit comes into play again, as it usually does, because I wasn't sure where to put this. I wasn't sure. I was thinking of maybe just slapping it on top of the flight controller, of course, you know, shrinking it and all that good stuff, and just sticking it there like that. But I didn't really like it, and I wasn't sure if the antenna would reach, and it would be kind of weird, and the vista would be in the way. So I did realize that I could still shrink it and stick it right here on the backside and just raise this up a little bit, and I'll still have clearance. So and if I ever have to get to it, this is only going to be screwed down, so I just unscrew that, pop it off, and you know, if I need to bind it weirdly or whatever. So all right, so we're going to go ahead and get going here. I'm going to clip this on so I can tin the pads. Actually, I got to do the wires first, don't I? Don't really need a stripper when you got fingernails. I usually just do it a little longer just in case. You know, then after I tin these, I just snip them to the good length. And then what I usually do is I'll just get something like this. Just float them up like that. Two. I don't know if he's loud enough, but you might hear my crazy neighbor next door. He's on the phone with somebody going crazy. All right. Should only need a little bit. Don't go crazy with these. Let go. All right. And then, like I said, what I do is I just, you don't want them too long. You don't want them hanging off the board too much. So that's a good length. Alright, so that's that. Now I'll go ahead and I'll throw a little flux on this. And oh, come on, get on there, you. There we go. There we go. Alright, what I usually do is I flip this over. Just the way I solder. So we shall go ground, And it doesn't matter what colors you use. I generally with the receiver I just stick with white and green, and I don't really, differentiate TX and RX. It doesn't really matter. I stay away from yellow. I use that for video usually, just so I don't get that messed up with anything else. So there we go. So now what I'm going to do is, alright, don't need this anymore. I'm just going to twist these up. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I just kind of do it just to clean it up a bit. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this to length. I usually do just a little bit extra because it curls up on both sides when you heat it. So yeah, that should be good. Put this over. These things are they're usually pretty tight. There we go. Nope, there we don't go. Alright. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to attach the antenna, because I can do that. And I actually want to do that because the heat shrink will go over the connector and will keep it in place. There we go. So that's that. Bring it up over here. So yeah, it looks good. And what we'll do is I'm going to grab my heat gun. There we go, heat gun. Yeah. I tried lighters and stuff before, but I just don't like them. I like the heat gun better. But the one thing is, you pray, like you set it up like this, and it's kind of dangling, and you hope that it doesn't move too much when you do it. So let's see what happens. And there we go. Do it real quick on the bottom. Alright, yeah, it looks good, huh? It's got the antenna locked in. Usually what I try to do is I try to tap the bind button. Hopefully it's not squeezing the bind button, because that'll be bad. I'm not sure. Now it feels like it can snap, so if not, what I usually do is I'll just cut around it with an X-Acto blade. Yeah, it looks good. It looks okay. So now what I'm going to do is kind of twist these a little bit more. I'm going to tape it down. Cut a small piece of the VHB tape. Throw it on the bottom here. And let's get the bottom off of that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on. I'm going to center it between the 20 by 20 for the Vista. And as I hold it, of course we got extra, so what I'm going to do is I am going to try to do what I can with this extra to keep it low. Oop, what am I doing here? Oh, I gotta go this way. Yeah, and that should be fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and see, the way that the arm's in the way, you can't really tell, but I'm not even pressing on it, and I still got, you can see by my thumb, I still got room. I still got enough clearance for the top plate. So, oh, and the one thing I didn't show on any video was the cap. Because the Vista is going to be sitting here, I didn't know where to put the cap, and the thing is huge. So what I usually do sometimes is if I can't fit it in, what I'll do is I'll put it on the outside and just run wires to the battery leads, and it's usually good. So I got 2 zip ties really tight, and also what I do is I put heat shrink on the cap just in case, and also it kind of makes it so it doesn't slide around, because caps are, you know, the shiny metal and stuff, and so it'll protect it. And plus I put it on this side because I'm going to go props out. So if the prop comes in and it's bent, it's going to hit this. It won't hit the cap if I put it on this side. Hopefully it will hit the arm first before the cap anyway. It'll kind of hit here. So it's a little bit of protection, but it works. So now the flight controller, it's a T-Motor F722 Mini, and the pad layout's weird. What I got to do is I have the power and the ground over here. The power, I think, is the first one. The ground's, I think, 4th or 5th one. But the TX and RX is way over here, because they want us to use UART2 instead of UART1, which is this group right here. So usually if that's what they say, that's what I do. So what I'll do is I will put this here. Oh, there's also, and I don't know if I should do it or not. I guess I probably should. There's pads here for the receiver voltage, but I don't think I'm going to do that actually, because the pad that I'm going to solder to for the power is this one here, and I don't know if you can see, it says 5V, so I'm not going to worry about that, because I got to use this 5V here, and I got to use this ground that's there. So I think I'm good. I'm not going to do that. I think it might have to do with this here. So, and then I got to do my pads over here for the TX and RX. I believe the bottom one's the receive and this one's the transmit. So, but what I'll do is, to keep this thing steady, I am going to just put it in there lightly, and we'll tin up the pads. Get some flux on here. A little dab there, a little dab there, a little dab there. You don't need to use too much. You don't want it overflowing all over the place. I don't think that there's a reason for that. So, all right. So let's do this. There we go. And way over here, which is kind of silly, but whatever. So that's those two. And let's get this thing out of the way. Hopefully, anyway. And we'll go to these 2 pads, like so. Alright, so now this is kind of where we split. I'm going to do the power and stuff here. I'm going to unwrap this, and I'm going to split the power and this. So we will wrap this up pretty good. Yeah, come on, get out of there. And I'm going to leave a little extra so I can pop off the flight controller if I need to and pull it aside. Plus I'm going to be putting the wire for the Vista between the flight controller and the ESC, so I'm going to need to pop this up. So you don't want it super long, but you don't want it super short either. If it's too long, you know, God forbid you get in a crash and part of the wire creeps out and gets caught on something, and that's not good. So we're going to lay this down a little bit here, and I figure if I snip to about here, That should be good. And get the homemade strippers. Oops, what did I do there? I just kind of destroyed that. That's all right. Alright, so now I'm going to put these off to the side here so I can tin these suckers. Or maybe not. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll just twist these up again. Yeah, see, I did a little bit longer than I really wanted to. You know what? I'm going to trim them down. What the heck? And we'll try this again. Nope, it's a little too long. Yeah, that's a little too long too, but we'll snip those and okay, come on. Tin these things. And we'll snip them down a little bit. There we go. All right, and yeah, we'll just do it just like that. All right, and then let's grab this here to the ground. There we go. All right, we can keep that down like that. And what I think I might do is I don't know if I want to go over the top. It's going to be kind of weird though. I don't know. I don't want to go on the side, so I guess I'm going to have to just go on the top. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go under it. I'm going to go under the flight controller. That's what I'm going to do. So, see? Hey, we're loose. We got extra wires, so it's kind of what you want to do. And I do have enough to curl back up. So let's turn this thing around. Let's see what we got. I think I'll go right about here. And actually, to make things easier, I think I will work on these outside of that. That way it's not pulling too much and things aren't in the way. No sense making it harder than it should be. Yeah. There we go. Alright, let's tin up these suckers. I might snip there we go. Alright, so let's wind this up again. And we will put them under here. Now let's see. Green goes to RX and white goes to TX. That was kind of a crappy job there. There we go. It's not so bad. All right. And that, I think, is it. So, looks pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's not going to go anywhere. Plus, it'll be sandwiched by the Vista anyway. You get your positive, negative, TXRX. Soldering looks all right. So, I think we're going to be good. So, a quick one today. The next time we will do the Vista and mount that and everything, and I'll show you what I did to raise it up off of the frame for the room, to get room for the Crossfire. So that'll be next time. Until then, rip some packs, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.